Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to DocuSweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can have friends over, can have company over, can have late night booty calls over, but at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet, just like a little Amazon package.
Hi! So today we
Hey.
are talking 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Season 8, Episode 15, Jack and the Visa Talk.
Hmm.
Not to be confused with Jack and the Beanstalk, in case you guys didn't put that
Mm.
together.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yep, the Visa Talk. Beanstalk.
Mm-hmm.
Beanstalk. Visa Talk. It's too many syllables. That's what it is. Okay, anyways. So in this episode, we would like to have a round of applause and a very hearty thank you and welcome to Amy Archer from Little Miss Recap.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Can I make a comment about the title as the poetry nerd?
Absolutely.
So that's a slant rhyme and it's unacceptable. It's not, we don't like it. No.
A slant rhyme?
Yeah, that's like a slant rhyme. Like when something almost rhymes, so you can use it, and usually in spoken word, like you could get away with it. But Matt Sharp, we know what you're doing and it's not working.
Yeah. Speaking of spoken word, have you seen Love Jones?
No, I have not.
Okay, great. Never mind then. Neither. Yeah. You do.
Okay.
Chris,
all right.
Chris needs to watch it too. 1994, great time for cinema.
94.
Oh yeah, you've been talking about this movie. I mean, we should virtually watch it. You know,
I already virtually watched it. You gotta watch
it again. He'll do it.
I
love this episode. This is a great episode. This was a great episode of television for lots of different ways, but chiefly the greatest wedding. Such a fun wedding.
It was a great wedding. She looked great.
Yes, a woman taking care of herself up against hard odds, which is hard dicky odds, dickmatized odds, which is of course Alex and Annie. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong.
Annie did take care of herself, but that's a different show.
Sorry, my loves. I just looked down and I had the wrong notes open. Okay, just kidding. I'll tell you, this episode was okay.
Well, we didn't have Big Ed, so that was good.
This episode was only okay. I thought this was Lip, and I'll be honest, Lip was a great episode, but I've been over HEA. I can't wait for it to be done. I think this episode's weird, and mostly the costumes that they're making Jasmine wear looks like Barbie costumes. I mean, like, it's unreal what she's wearing. And anyway, who do you want to start with?
Can I pick?
Yeah, you pick.
Okay.
A guest of honor.
Let's do Angela and Michael.
Oh, honey, Angela and Michael.
God.
Okay, so first of all, obviously, in the throes of a heated argument, she's screaming. The producers are basically, this is what we see, shots of them just kind of standing up and looking at her. And then we hear VO of the producers being like, hotel security, we really need the hotel security to come. But it's like none of their lips are moving during this moment. So it feels bad, weird.
Well, and she's screaming, call the embassy. Like she's just going to pick up the phone and call the embassy and say, come make a citizen's arrest on Michael right now for scamming.
Yeah, and taking my phone.
It is crazy it is crazy that one of the producers said it. If I were Michael, I would no longer trust any of the producers. What was he doing to where they needed to call hotel security? Was it trying to get his phone back?
Right. And I was trying to see in the scramble, I couldn't really make it out. Were they trying to take his phone or were they just trying to usher him out?
Such a great point, because last episode, there was a gentleman in a red shirt that we saw, and we thought that the gentleman in the red shirt was like Michael's friend, someone in the posse that had come to protect him. But then during this hotel security scuffle, it feels like the man in the red polo shirt is part of hotel security and then trying to do something. And then Angela turns around and she's like, okay, she's of course screaming, get the phone. This is my phone. It's my phone. And then she goes, enough, let him go. He is my husband still. And it's like this reminds me of like last episode when she was like, well, you can still sleep on the couch. You're still my husband.
It is just very like Karen of her. That was such a Karen move.
Yes, it was.
To like call security on her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she got what she wanted, then she's just like, oh, well, you didn't have to use brute force on him. Like I was just screaming bloody murder just to let you know to tap him on his shoulder. Like, I'm sorry, I'm dramatic.
It's the Karen of all Karens when she's basically like, I want to speak to the head of the United States to deal with this. Let me talk to the manager of America.
Can I see the manager of this embassy, please?
Yes.
I'm sorry, who's the supervisor of this embassy? Suite hotel? You know what I mean? Just like so crazy. She just repeating things over and over. So to me, I didn't trust what the producers were doing because I was like, just let them tussle it out. It's great TV. Also, or you could get involved. Why isn't there a male producer who's like Michael? And Michael's just like, enough of that. Enough of that. When I am done, I am done. Enough now.
He's had it. He's done. He is past the stage where he could be manipulated with cake or an iPhone or anything. He's done. He's done.
Absolutely.
He's the exact embodiment of, she beats me. Well, what are you going to do? Got to see it through, my boy. Like he is the got to see it through, my boy poster child.
Well, she says something about she's also kind of a gotta see it through person. First of all, she's wearing this outfit in the confessional picture, and this doesn't look like that yummy popsicle you ate in grade school that was like a cylinder and was like the whatever
big
pineapple.
stick. Big stick. Big stick.
Okay. Look at that. I mean, doesn't that make you hungry? It's like so summery. Okay, so she's laying in bed. She looks bananas. She has like a gold headband on. Then she tries to sleep with a gold headband. I'm like, you are absolutely not trying to sleep in that gold headband. You can't do that. But then she has this pack of cigarettes. And I just thought it was interesting because I'm like, it's the pinkest pack of cigarettes with curly Q writing on it. It looks
that's
like
not a Marlboro pack. What is that?
Yep. Not Marlboro Reds, honey. That's not Parliaments. No. That's not American Spirits.
No. That's not a Newport.
Yeah.
Definitely not a Newport.
It's definitely not Capri Ultralight menthols, which is what I used to smoke back in the day.
Definitely not USA Gold, which is what I used to smoke when I was poor.
I've never heard of USA Gold. I've never heard of it.
Times were tough.
So, Amy, as a raging smoker, you could now.
Well, I don't smoke now, but I did.
But back in the day in airports, that's what Amy used to do, honey. She couldn't wait.
What is it like? Like, what is she going through right now? Having herself cuddled up and snuggled up with these cigarettes. Like, what is the life of a nicotine addict? Tell us.
Well, I will say that she probably wants to smoke real bad inside in the bed, and she's probably in some place where she's not allowed to do that. So she's going to wait till the camera leaves.
I'm sure I feel like she got a smoking room. Also,
maybe she did.
What are the walls of her bedroom look like? So is it like the nicotine, like yellow?
Well, it's so funny because my grandmother used to smoke. She smoked for 50 years, and then one day she just put the pack down and was done. Wow, and I remember when I was a kid, she used to scrub her walls down with Clorox, like straight Clorox, like maybe once every 3 or 4 months. And then we wonder, why was she riddled with cancer at the end of her life? Not sure. But she really did. She would scrub her walls down with Clorox. So there was like the heavy yellow film around them at all times. So I'm assuming Angela has this as well. I'm assuming.
She does
and
not
the yellow, she probably
Clorox.
has a drop ceiling in her house and probably has the yellow ceiling tiles.
Jeez, don't. That's
all them kids, honey, just smelling that. All the kids that she takes care of, she can't, that she needs the money for all the kids.
She 100% smokes in her house. 100%.
I just can't get it. I just don't get it what people do. I just don't understand. Like, I get why they do it. I understand. But I think the like, you just are somebody who doesn't want people to come to your house, I think.
Oh, you just want to, but whatever you're doing, you're just trying to cope, I guess. Smokers are just coping with life and they've chosen this, It's coming back around, it's so in. Anyway, I just keep seeing people everywhere. It's like I forgot what it was like to see people in cars smoking, especially in California where I live, and now it's everywhere. I can't believe it. But
I always say when I turn 75, I'm starting again.
Yeah, why not?
Gonna go out those last couple of years in a blaze of glory.
Enjoying yourself.
It has always made me jittery. It has never tasted good to me.
Really?
I'm always like, yeah, it just like, it doesn't calm my nerves. It never has. So I just have been like, no, it's something I can do without. And then I wake up the next morning. I mean, especially cigars. The next morning, the taste in one's mouth is like something died. And it's very upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's just, yeah, cigarette smell, weed doesn't for some reason to me. And dating someone who smokes cigarettes is just the worst to me. But
Mm.
basically, let me tell you what happened. So Michael, of course, is like, enough is enough, and he's done, and like seems like he's quite had it. But guess what? He hasn't, because it comes back the next day to discuss with her what had happened, which is basically just slowly explains all the things in the phone.
So why do you think he came back? Like, what do you think is going on there? Do you think he had a sober moment where he's like, oh my God, I'm losing this visa and this opportunity? Or do you think, like, what
Producers.
happened in those hours?
The producers that didn't say anything during the moments of the actual skerfuffle, but then had to be voiced over later to say hotel security. One of them texted him, honey, and was like, we got to keep filming. Michael, we're still at the Ivory Coast. She's still here. And guess what? She's up and willing and ready. Because, Angela is if you're going to say anything about Angela, she's professional, train wreck. And she'll be there. She'll show up at 7:45 a.m. call time to be a fucking train wreck. She really will.
Yeah.
So
True.
I think one, he has to see it through, my boy, and then two, he's married. He's married. Angela, she is still my wife, even though she crossed the line.
Well, you have to know,
married.
women, we don't have balls. We have hormones.
Hormones. I got hormones, Michael.
That was
my
the
ovaries. I mean, I guess that's what I should have said that, but
that was the boomeriest, as well as like just country. It's like at that moment she said that to me, and I was like, "Oh, she's from the swamps." She said that to me personally, and I said, "This is from the swamp." Now
she spoke to your soul in that moment.
She wasn't even from the swamp, but she is just a backwards person. Like, I just was like, at that point, it's like when people say crazy old wives' tales to me about shit, like, oh, well, you could tell it's a boy because you're hanging low. It's just like,
that she has a copy of Men Are From Mars, Women Are from Venus, like at the ready at all times.
Yes. I can't believe she said that with her whole wrinkly chest, just yelled it as though it was fact. She's the kind of person who was like, oh, a woman shouldn't be president because we've got hormones, not balls.
Yes.
Melania Trump is good being Melania.
Right.
She's a crazy person.
But Michael then, shares that he sometimes gets depressed, and that's why he had to join the Paradise Man group, because it's so depressing, the fact that he can't get through the visa process. She should understand that, because she should understand how long it's taking, and also he can't shame her for being depressed. That's why he doesn't open up and tell her everything. It's why he's sometimes shady, Angela.
This guy deserves the EGOT. Like, he's amazing. Give him a visa and an EGOT, because he's amazing.
Absolutely.
He's earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Meryl Streep, in Lady Gaga together. I mean, the career of that, just like so versatile. Then
sometimes
she goes,
I get depressed.
Yeah. Well, if I pull the visa now, it's like ripping the last chapter from the book, and we'll never know how it ends. And we can't do that for all the fans. It's like Game of Thrones had a final season. It wasn't great, but at least it had a final season. You wouldn't just not have a final season of Game of Thrones. You're just like, oh my God, Angela. And then basically all is well, because they just end up cuddling on this like very weird pillow together. And she's been cold this whole time. This is like a cold age for her, basically that's like, shuddering her like jaw. Half the time her mouth is just open listening to him. When he goes over everything, she's just like,
yeah.
And then half the time she's just like because she's cold, it's freezing in the Ivory Coast.
I didn't know Michael was upset without me here and was going through a lot by himself. He got to call me when he's feeling that way. I didn't think that he would need friends. Like I didn't think he would need a social life. He'd just call me at any time of the day or night and talk to me and the childrens. And it's just so crazy that she wouldn't understand why somebody who's going through this very arduous process would want support, maybe outside of her. It's seeming like how she has support,
right? Because she's so supportive.
Yeah,
she's so supportive. I can understand why when Michael's upset, she is the first phone call that he makes. I can totally understand that.
Comforting. That's one of the first things you think about when you think of her. Comforting.
Yeah,
comfort.
Absolutely.
Let's move on, my loves, and let's get something out of the way that I just feel like wasn't the greatest, but whatever. It's Ashley and Manuel. This is just like kind of regurgitating the same kind of fights we've been having before, but it opens on her, cleansing the house, honey, and not just like with the Swiffer pad, but like, how the witches do with the sage and the frankincense. And, she like, cleans her dog, Rico Suave, who I'm sure has, I know has perfect vibes, not necessary, you know.
Yeah, but she didn't want him to be left out.
She cleanses Manuel too. He comes in and we get the same kind of like sitcom energy of like, what are you doing? Those are so crazy. Oh, you crazy woman. It's very like, doesn't it feel like a 50s, 60s sitcom in that way or just something?
Very
but
like
it's also great.
Desi, very, what are you doing, weirdo? Yeah.
Yeah. It's good though. It's like good that he's playing along, especially because he's the one who doesn't speak English and he's still like giving us content. One, two, the translation is a little weird. The translation is a little weird. The fact that they say like your energy, she said your energy is bad. And I was like, no, he said fail, which is like ugly. And it's not, I'm not saying it needs to be direct, but like, I guess what it is like maybe middle America doesn't understand that you can say something is ugly and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually ugly. It's just like bad or nasty or whatever. So it was just weird because I was like, no, say what she said. She said, no, your attitude is ugly. Like your attitude is stank. Like that's what she said. Put the emphasis on it, not just bad. And he's very much like, what are you talking about now? Where he goes crazy is like later on. She also goes crazy, but he goes crazy too. So at this point, I was still confused as to the money. So here's what the scenario is. Amy, you explain it to us. Tell us what you understand it to be. This is what I understand it to be.
So what I understand is she's given him $1,000. Now he's asking for 300 more. She doesn't know where it's going. So she's relying on the supposition of one of his friends who's just like, oh, I don't know, maybe he's giving it to his baby mama and she's taking this as gospel and she is running with it. That's my understanding of it.
I understand that he has his own bank account that doesn't have her name on it, or maybe has her name on it, but it is his and she just has it as because she's a spouse. So it's his bank account. And she gave him $1,000. And then she started to spend the money in that account. And so then he changed the password of the account so that she couldn't get in and spend any more money. It was down to $30. And
from 1,000.
From 1,000. So then he goes back to her and he's like, well, I need 300 now. And now she is frustrated because she's like, but what happened to the 1,000? And I feel like we all heard him say, you spent it. Like that is what I feel like. And so I'm just confused why she's confused, why she needs to now give him another 300.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Like maybe she's seeing the $1,000 as I've gifted this to you. So I made the gesture. Doesn't matter what I do on the back end and I take all of it back. I've made the gesture of giving you this initial deposit. And now, I can do whatever I want. I don't know.
Yes, she's wearing like a nurse's uniform, with the back.
She is with her first and last name on.
Yes, Ashley Michelle.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, "What? Come again? What is this? What is this job? Is this what is this like? This is like walk-in psychics, and you just all wear nurses scrubs because you like get in there. I mean, I was like, what is this job?
Right.
She protests a lot that she's not bad with money, and now I'm thinking that she's actually really quite bad. Really bad with money. I don't think she's good with money. And I only say this, and here's the thing. Half of me is like, she's getting this for free because we saw the bakery. But the other half of me is like, because if you were just that much in debt and didn't have any money, like, when it comes to like $300 and his birthday's coming up, don't get him like an organic fucking cake that's like, a bespoke bakery is doing. You know how much that cake is
expensive.
Cake is wildly expensive.
You get a cake here from Wegmans, it's like $75.
Exactly. Exactly. That cake looks so cute. The place that she went with her sister to get one. And I was like, I'm sorry, that cake is going to be too fucking expensive. You go to Costco right now, you get a cake. Or I don't even feel like you make it cute. By the way, I love a yellow cake with black frosting. Like I really will. Like I'll just go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wait, do you mean by black? By black, do you mean chocolate frosting? Is that what we call it? We change it? So it's interchangeable? Good.
Yellow cake with black frosting.
How I'm sorry, $60 for a cake, I know is the running price. And so I don't think it's too much. How much should a cake cost? 30?
10 cents.
I think a cake should be 20 to 30.
I think
okay,
a
great.
good cake. So what size are we talking?
I don't know. 8
Like
inch.
we're gonna do like an 8-inch round, double
Mhm.
layer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can't be that. I mean, how expensive is that?
I'm gonna say $30. I think is
Okay.
appropriate. I used to be a
Okay.
cake decorator.
Mm.
A lot of
Yeah.
work goes into this cake.
But that cake she's getting is at least $85.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
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 Yep.
Okay, my love. So she's like, we're picking it up, and they're like, it's not done. And she's like, let's change the wording to "fuck you." And they're like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
no.
They would
Yeah.
not do that.
No,
They're not
well,
going to
I
do
love
that.
how she's like, how much notice do I need to change the writing? The writing is done at the same time the cake is decorated, honey. Like we don't write on it last minute as you're there picking it up. It's written on, put away, stored away, and then you come and pick it up. Now, a good cake decorator would wet the spatula and be able to pull it right off and
Oh.
redo it. But
Woo!
I mean, they should have did it just for like promotion sakes. Did we get the
Yeah.
name of the bake shop?
Yeah, I wrote
No.
it down. I don't know
Okay.
why I did. It's called Scratch Bakery, which makes sense.
So then I
Cool.
think they should have wiped it off for her, because that
Yeah.
would have been a selling point. And then when someone comes in and is like, can I change it real quick? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't do that. We need 48 hours. Like, but you did it on the show. Yeah.
The cameras were here.
Yeah, we did do it
Yeah,
on the show.
we did.
And
We were on
but what you
TV.
signed was a 48-hour. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want for their
Yes.
future. I want that conversation with that customer. It'll make me happy. But yeah, so they were like, no, we don't do that. Now she's with her sister. And at this point, let me back up. So they get into the argument where he then says that he's going to move back to Ecuador.
Oh yeah.
So that's the catalyst of this. He says he's going to
mhm.
move back to Ecuador because if you cannot give me money so that I can take care of my peoples, then I guess I got to go home and take care of them, which seems very reasonable for me. She gets upset and she walks away looking fetch. I mean, just slim trim and ready to go. But she walks down the street because she needs a walk. And then we see her next scene with her sister. And then they're at the cake shop and she's got full face on. Now I have a question about this cake shop conversation. The sister is a Manuel hater. And I don't like that.
I don't like that either. I'm a big believer. Like, it's so funny because Amanda, my co-host, and I were just talking about this. Like, you always need somebody in your life who is a champion of your relationship. Unless the relationship is horrible, don't get me wrong, but like you need somebody in your life who's going to be like, I understand that you're venting about this and you're going to work it out and you're going to get back together, so I'm just going to hear you and we're going to, I'm going to support you through this. And you never go to a sister for that. Your sister's going to be, look at John and Patrick, like, no, your sister is not going to be the person. They're going to be on your side no matter what, and unable to be non-biased.
Same thing with Claire and Sophie. I mean, might be different, but Claire's going to hate the shit out of anyone that Sophie's with, and definitely hates Rob. Will never not hate Rob. And through every morsel of her being, every time she's talking about Rob, it'll be, hey, break up with him, break up with him, break up with him.
Yep. She
says Manuel moves funny, and it's playing her specifically. So then they have this awful. Like, I almost fast forward it because I don't like mess. I do like it, but not when it's so anxious driven. They call Jonathan. And Jonathan is not Manuel's friend.
No. What a snitch. What a fucking snitch.
No, Jonathan's just like, oh, I don't know. Maybe he's, sending it to Praise the Light Ministries. I have no idea what he's doing with it. Like, he just pulls something out of his ass, and these two believe it.
Yeah. And
I was like, why is Jonathan loyal to these two girls? Like, in my mind, I'm like, does he want to fuck one of these girls? Like, what's coming out? Because
gay.
Oh, I thought
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I don't know.
That okay, go on.
But I mean, I just thought it was gay. So then they rush home to yell at Manuel, and he just starts giggling. He just starts.
Yeah,
he's watching, honey. He's in the middle of watching football. He's just like, and he didn't know these two baddie women come home and start screaming. And he's just like, I was in the middle of my football game, honey.
She slams the laptop down. I was like,
I mean, talk to me. Yeah, she's like, I mean, this is the same kind of thing where he is just very casual and she gets very, very upset, and we never really know why. They're together, and I'll be honest. One thing that they've been missing this whole rest of the season that happened the first season is them like having sex all the time. Have they had sex at all? Remember that?
When they banged it out in the bathroom and the public space while their friend was sitting.
They've been banging. That's what their like
Mm.
their whole relationship is based on. When trouble is afoot, we bang it out, and
They're
then
banging
all
out,
the
yeah.
trouble that's been happening, and there's not been that many banging.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what's
bangs,
missing here. That's what's missing. Absolutely.
So basically, he's like, that's a fucking lie. And okay, so basically she's like, I talked to Jonathan, and Jonathan told me that you are still talking to your ex-girlfriend. Now, this is the part that I don't understand, and this is what I need your opinions on, both of you. I'm like, yeah, of course he's talking to his ex-girlfriend. She's the mother of his kids.
I know. I have a problem with this.
I'm like,
I have a real problem with it.
Ashley, Ashley, logically, you've already said that you know that he has to give money to his kids. So these are children in a different country. So for him to send money to these children, obviously he has to talk and communicate with the adult that is going to get the money, procure it, give it to the goddamn kids, spend it for the kids. So of course he talks to this woman. Like, what are you mad at? Like, it seems like she is so mad that he's not like submitting a itemized list. $20 for kids shoes for children 1, $20 for kids children 2, $300, whatever, like $100 for the food. Like, she wants where all the money is going, and she for some reason doesn't think that he's talking to the person spending it, and none of that really makes sense to me.
Right. And then there's the reductive baby mama, which I hate. And just this idea that you wouldn't want something that would be attractive to me would be if he was a good father.
Mhm.
Somebody who's not even going to talk to the woman who birthed his children about his children. Like, how are they? How's school going? What are they feeling? What, like, I don't know. Somebody who wouldn't even be involved in their lives would be a total turnoff for me.
Yeah.
Tell me you're not a parent tell me you're not a parent without telling me you're not a parent. Sorry, it took me 9 years to say it, but obviously I'm also not a parent, which is why I can't say it. Anyway, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it just the energy of her feeling. She's like, it's the same old trope that people say, I don't care about what you did. I care that you lied about it. And it feels very parent-child to me. Because like, you need to have an adult conversation with your spouse to explain to them that no lies will be tolerated ever, or no omittance of facts need to be talked about. But if you're going to still act like this, that shows why they're not telling you things, because you're still prone to bad behavior once you find information for that. So he starts laughing at her for like, the things that and the way he's laughing is like kind of ridiculous. It's not even
menacing.
Like
it's menacing.
It's not even an awkward like I don't know what to say, and you're confronting me. It's like like it's just like it feels extra. It's like he's pointing at her, and so she's pissed. The sister is just holding Rico Suave, like not really understanding and knowing what to do. Yet she's the one who like instigated all this. So I don't know. I was annoyed at the fact that she instigated all of this for that. And so so then they call Jonathan, and that's really awkward. And he's like, well, Jonathan, what did you say? And finally Jonathan's like, man, just tell the truth. And he promptly hangs up on Jonathan. Yeah,
Jonathan's like, am I on speaker? Which is a clear sign that there's going to be a collaboration of lies here.
Yes.
And Emmanuel's like, yeah. And he's like, dude, just tell her the truth. Click. See, he backed me up. He said, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
now I'm just like, the truth is probably not even that big a deal, but Manuel just doesn't want to say it. And so, because he wants to hold some, his secretos are really personal to him, as well as I think he wants some semblance of being the independent adult that he once was. I can only imagine his like frustration, A, not anticipating how homesick he was going to be, B, just like not understanding how it was going to feel to not have any control over his life, where he goes, who he talks to, how he moves, anything like that. And so part of his holding these secretos is just a way, I think, of him having some kind of control in his life. And Ashley is steady trying to just like scoot into his space. And she just doesn't get it. She's so self-absorbed with her own abandonment issues that she can't possibly understand how he's feeling. He really needed to call Michael to get a primer on how to live through this process and how to be completely controlled.
Speak of the devil. Let's move on to Gino and Jasmine. Can you imagine Gino giving? Gino could
speak
give.
of the devil, and I was like, we're going back to Angela and Michael. Oh,
Oh,
Wait, sperm
you're
pile?
right.
How did we get there? No.
Yeah, you're right. Men controlled by women, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, honey. There's a lot of them. So Gino and Jasmine, were you guys? I'm sorry. Before I make that transition, were you done talking about them?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they're, packing to the pageant, and he says, "Do you have everything?" Because he's taken on the managerial role. He is he's the Benny Medina to her J-Lo.
Mhm.
He's like, you need to have a lot of shoes. People in pageants have lots of shoes, which is not the truth. Like, I don't feel like, I feel like if I was in a pageant, I would have like a nude strappy heel, and then I would have a bedazzled or gold strappy heel, and I'd probably be fucking fine. What do you need more than that?
So two strappies, nude and
Yeah.
bedazzled.
Can I wear my Old Navy flip flops in a pageant?
Are they heeled?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
They're the only shoes I own right now.
You have to get new shoes. Well, honey, Gina will take you shopping. So again, I just think it's funny. Pageants have interesting titles. This one's called the Ms. International World Pageant. Sometimes it just feels like there's
She's not a
40
Ms.
words. It said Ms.
Yeah, but she's not one. So how could she be in
Ms.
this?
She's a Ms.
She's a Mrs.
A what?
A Mrs.
Mrs.?
Yeah, but Mrs. or Miss can go by Ms. Ms.
Yeah,
is
Ms. is
general. Mhm.
I thought Ms. was single woman.
No, Ms. MS is like a catch-all.
Yes,
for any
Miss
woman.
is single
Yeah.
woman.
Oh, wow. This is so antiquated and confusing. I'm glad we don't do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad to.
Yeah, so that's why, I actually do know this because I have, because in server training, like, it is the catch-all. So you can just be like, well, now we don't know. Now you don't say anything at all. But like, this is like when in the early aughts. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so moving on. So basically that's just, pageants just have like 3 words. And it's always just like Miss International World Universe, America. It's just always just like a place and like an adjective. So this is what that one is. Now, the woman that's running this pageant is, well, I'm sorry, actually, let me get to her. He reminds her also, besides the shoes, to please bring the fucking toothbrush. And if they ever talk about this toothbrush again, I mean, my God, I'm so over this goddamn toothbrush. It wasn't even that great. That scene wasn't, I don't know, there's been a billion better scenes in this thing, but
they're trying they're writing these scenes and they're trying, but
call back.
All right, honey. All right. So he, has been pushing her to understand this is a professional situation. A lot of women are professional pageant people here, honey. It's a lot of honey boo-boos that just grew up still doing the circuit, honey. And she has to know who she's up against. And she's like, fuck you. I really need you to come more with the attitude that I'm so beautiful, that I'm so great, that I'm doing perfect, and that I'm going to win, and that I barely need to even move or breathe to do so.
Right.
You should be like, everyone here is so ugly. You're so beautiful. I don't understand why you're not doing that.
I tried to put myself in her shoes and I'm like, how would I feel if my husband was like, your book is good, but I've pulled out a few of your peers' books. And, I just want to give you some. I think I would just murder him. And I don't often side with Jasmine, but I'm like, maybe this is not, I don't know. I think I would also have an emotional reaction to it. And also, why is Gino being allowed to film women? And why is he allowed within 300 feet of this place?
That part.
Okay. So I don't agree. I think that like, if she's only doing this pageant for fun, not to actually win, then I can see him being the same kind of energy that she wants him to be. Okay. But the fact is that she wants to win. And what I need in a partner is a partner who's going to help me win. And if my partner is noticing that other people who are getting praise have a different style, or just wants me to see other styles to see maybe what I can mimic, what I can do, just to get a leg up. This feels like he's doing reconnaissance work, and that he's bringing her back some jewels of like what you can and can't do. I guess it's just in the world in which I work, like corporate place I work, it's like, oh, steal from someone. You know what I mean? So,
well, I'm going to stop you right there because you're speaking from the position of like a secure whole person. And we're talking about Jasmine.
Okay.
So, like, anyone would know. You don't go to Jasmine with any criticism, constructive nor not. You just nothing. You say nothing. You're beautiful. You're the best. You're everything. You're wonderful. You're going to win this. Everything is great.
Oh yeah,
That's
that is like a crazy level of delusion that I cannot have anyone around me creating.
You can't
delusion
get there.
for me.
No, you can't even imagine it.
And I also love like the next day she's like, Gino, are you going number 2? like it's just so crazy that she just like yells this, and then he comes out, he's like, what are you wearing? And she's like, going to rehearsal. And then I was like, also like, why is that? But everyone's wearing that to rehearsal, but she puts a little brooch right here so that she can stand out.
Yes.
Yeah, this was all weird. She's wearing what looks like a 2-piece workout outfit with a bra underneath, and she already has massively constructed boobs that don't need any of those things. I'm just confused. Like, why are you wearing a bra underneath a sports top like that? Like,
and everybody is kind of dressed the same.
They're all in beige. Oh no, they're all.
So is this? So I know nothing about pageants. Everything I know about pageants I learned from John Bonet and Darcy Silva's kid on Darcy and Stacey.
Were you watching Velvet and Tiaras though? Did you?
No,
you skipped it. It was like 37 years in between.
Okay. No,
John Bonet.
Yeah. What had happened?
And Aiko or Ainiko. Like just like
John Bonet and Aiko. Those are my reference points.
Just like bookends. You know what I mean? Of like references. Nothing in the middle, Chris. Did you hear that?
Nope.
Nothing in the middle.
I know nothing.
Tiaras was literally on the same channel we all watch all these other shows on. It was absolutely seminal.
Never saw it. Never saw it.
John Bonet. God, I will never get away from that little girl's face on every single tabloid.
Listen, my mother told me, when I leave this mortal coil, you are to keep me alive artificially until John Bonet is solved. My mother will not pass from this earth.
That needs to be the next documentary for
until
sure.
John Bonet
like, someone HBO,
solved.
Can we get Jarecki? Can we get someone in here? Hell,
Jarecki would do wonders with it. It would be amazing.
I would even take whoever produced Natalia, The Curious Case of Natalie Grace. Like, I would take that person to go figure out what happened to John Bonet.
You would allow Michael Michael from that you want that man to get.
He was good television. He's a weirdo, but he was good television.
She just came into our room with her hands, like only a person with dwarfism could.
And Jarecki, genius with the jinx. Yeah. I know you guys are covering it. The best part of the jinx is when his buddy's reading the phone book or the TV guide to him, and he's going, "Designing Women, hate it." I don't know, whatever. CSI Miami, love it. Bob, he's just doing it over and over and over again. Love it, hate it.
Yep. Did you poop? Yeah, that same conversation is like, did you have a bowel movement? The way he says Bob in his recording is I can't get over I'll never get over the jinx.
I have a sort of a crush on Bob Durst.
I'm sorry. What are you fucking talking about?
Okay, hold on.
No, I don't even because can I the whole thing. Why does anyone like me? Why does he have so many friends? I don't understand it at all.
So what I'm saying is I am somebody who's very easily pulled into cults and strong personalities. I 100% would have dated Bob Durst. 100%. I would have been pulled right in there. I would have been murdered by him. 100%. No, he's just charming. He looked like a young Dustin Hoffman when he was young. He was very charming. I would have fallen for it. I would have fallen for him when he was in his 70s.
Okay, Amy.
He's tiny. What a tiny man with beady eyes. And
I need help. I need help.
I do think like funny had a dry sense of humor.
Yes, that would have pulled me in.
He just looks like the regression of European features. Like he just looks like he looks like if like nothing is complete on his face. His eyes are sunken in, his nose is too pointed, his lips are too small. He himself is physically too small. He just looks like the antithesis of like whatever the strong man is of his culture. He's the opposite of it. Just like the shallow end of the gene pool.
Is he a boomer or is he a greatest? He would be a boomer, right?
He's
so
a boomer.
like you take like a John Wayne and he's the antithesis of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, he looks like he
Would
had
I
a
still date him?
plan.
100%.
Clint Eastwood. He's the antithesis of Clint Eastwood.
Oh, Clint Eastwood.
I can't imagine the money. Okay, I
No.
cannot. Amy, so you watched the whole thing, right? You got through the whole
Yes,
thing.
yes.
I can't imagine.
Yes.
We did it too, so we can talk about it more
Yeah.
solid. Right in the middle of this 90-day fiance thing, and then we'll go back. But yeah, like it's otherworldly how much money he had. It's wild,
unbelievable.
how Deborah has
Mhm.
been able to just funnel it over the years into her own businesses to have already made so many substantial profits from it that it isn't, that like he's already benefited her. Like to this time, I don't see her. If you take away even like his trust, she's already made 100 times at using that money.
She could get rid of, you're right. She could cut every tie to his money and she would still be rich.
Yeah.
I read an article, I think it was in the Hollywood Reporter with Jarecki, and he was saying that he had dinner with her 3 times while he was filming the Jinx season 2, because he was trying to get her to come on camera and she wouldn't in the end. But he said to her at one point, "You are the only thing standing between Kathy's family and justice." Like, and these people don't want a lot of money. Like, don't you want to just give them something? They could send their kids to college. They could do. And she said, "Not $1."
Why? She didn't
I
say.
don't know.
Yeah, it's even he said
Well,
that.
and
How
he
did he
doesn't
even go to dinner
just-
with her?
They
He's
are
like, how does
dumb.
she yes to dinner?
She's survived a marriage with Debbie, and Kathy didn't. So,
Right.
spoils to the victor is what she's thinking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that Kathy got with him when he was young and could actually strangle somebody and bury a body. That's not my fault. Like if you had been getting
that's her rational
little
thinking,
medical degree or whatever, you should have been going after business and being the baddest bitch on the block, but you weren't. You got caught up.
You should have been lining up your employees and smelling their armpits and sending them out there.
Doing, but you weren't doing it. You didn't do it right, and it isn't me, and I don't know your life, and I'm sorry for them, but everybody needs to make their way. That you are a strong Irish Catholic family of firemen. You
firemen fuckers.
You will be
want to do is fuck firemen.
Yeah, don't worry. Spoils to the victor. Dun, 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 dun.
Do you think that she do you think that she smelled all those armpits? And this is in the 90s, so you know what kind of brands they had back then. And do you think she smelled one and was like, smells like Teen Spirit?
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
I get it.
I
Okay,
think you like Nirvana. Okay, so basically, let's go back to what we're talking about, which is not as fun as what we were just talking about. Anyway, so you can listen to us both talk about the Jinx on wherever you listen to podcasts. We both Little Miss Recap and DocuSweeties did it. Okay, but we are in the middle of talking about Gino and Jasmine. So Jasmine now goes to the rehearsal in her cream number, and the rehearsal is a little pageant walk, honey, and seeing how that is. And then there's a lady who is going to give notes. So that happens, and while they're doing their walk, again, Gino records his favorites, and then Jasmine does hers. And by the way, all the walks look fine. Jasmine doesn't look different than others. They all look overly processed. Everyone's doing absolutely fucking too much. But here we are. The girl sorry, I keep calling her a girl. She's like a full ass woman. The professional lady, not the woman that runs the pageant, and her name is Angela also. Right. And she's the CEO, and she has red hair, Kool-Aid red, white face, and she Sharpie eyebrows, dyed black, honey. I mean, Wayne Newton black, just for men eyebrows. I mean, I have to tell you, and then just like red lips. She looks like I don't know.
She looks like a Bond villain. It's like she wants to be.
Yes, she does.
Yeah,
she does.
She looks like she's going for a very specific early 90s edgy woman look.
Annie Lennox meets,
Oh, she does have an Annie Lennox vibe.
But also, like, remember that one lady who, like, really transformed for the, like, American Horror Story that happened when they were all carnies?
Oh.
Remember that one woman who, like, was crazy as the carny?
Yeah.
Did I say carny?
Yeah.
Sweet dreams.
Okay.
What season was that? That wasn't
3 or 4. It's after Coven.
Yeah, and it's after the one where they're in the insane asylum, right?
It's Asylum.
Asylum.
After that one.
There's the house, there's Asylum, there's I forget.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh, Freak Show.
Yeah, it was in like Jupiter, Florida or something. Yeah, that was good.
Freak Show character.
Then it was Lady Gaga or Hotel, right?
Hotel was Lady Gaga, yeah.
I stopped watching it after Freak Show. I don't know.
Me
Angela
too.
Bassett was in Freak Show. She was in Coven. And then after that, I was like, oh, no more Angela Bassett? Okay, no more me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting them wrong because actually I can't remember if this person I was talking about is me. Okay, moving on. So basically, that person's like, Jasmine, just like be, connect more with the audience is basically what she says. And this turns into like her having told Jasmine that she like really is about.
The camera's like, like super zoom right onto Jasmine's face. And she looks like she's going to just blow up the whole building, like the end of Heathers or something.
I love notes. I love it when I do work and someone gives me notes. I love them. It makes me feel like not
Very
only
accurate.
are they, it makes me feel like they're seeing me. I'm giving them enough to critique on, as opposed to someone who's like, I'm not giving you any notes because really it's just like I either can't help you, or you are just like not noteworthy. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I love, like, as a writer, I mean, that's part of what I do. Like, an editor is always there tearing my stuff apart with, with good intention. And that's how something productive comes about.
Yep.
So I get it. But a lot of people aren't like that.
Jasmine. A lot of people named Jasmine. Not into it.
I would never peg Jasmine for somebody who could take criticism well.
I would never peg Jasmine either. So
no.
I'll tell you who will peg her though. She'll peg him. Let's be honest. So basically, she gets that note, and then he wants to give her his advice, and he's like, "Look, I think you did good, Jasmine, but I have some notes, and I took some videos of some other women that really did things that were also really great." And she is like, "What are you gonna do with the videos? Are you going to masturbate to them?" And like she 100% thinks that he's just gonna go rub his dick.
But I 100% think he is going to too.
That is crazy.
Because he's like watching them and he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh God, what is happening?
This is great for me and Jasmine.
He's obsessed with porn.
I mean,
she says that he's obsessed with porn.
Teach his own, but like
that's some soft core porn. That's the softiest core porn. I mean,
it's not even core. It's just
that's
soft,
like a Sears catalog porn from the 70s. Yeah.
It's SP. It's not even, you can't even say the word soft nor porn. You'd have to just say it's soft. Like
and then sounds like a suppressive person from Scientology.
It's like salt and pepper. No, like, and you notice whenever he's like looking at anything, his mouth is turned down in that like
yeah. But he is. He's kind of like, oh yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh,
she knows him. She knows that man. She knows what turns him on, I guess. But anyway, so she's very upset. And then he, again, just thinks that he did this for her benefit. And then I'll be honest, again, the videos that he showed, he was like, look at her. It was Miss Haiti was great, and Miss Haiti was fine. I didn't think that Miss Haiti was so amazing and that Jasmine was so different, but
Jasmine was just really stiff. The rest of the girls weren't stiff.
They've done it once before. Yeah.
Or twice,
Professionals, you're right. So basically she bars him from going back to rehearsal, which is what he should have never been there in the first place. She doesn't want that energy around her because she was really hoping that he'd be supportive, and that's not what he's been giving her, again, because she wants him to just be like, it's gorgeous, Jasmine. I'm gonna buy you everything when you win, as you're ultimately going to. Well, these people are so ugly in comparison, All right, my babes. Okay, moving on. We have we don't talk about Lauren and whatever. We don't talk about them.
Okay.
And so we don't talk about them. But we have Emily and Kobe, which I want to say for the last because they're my favorite. We have Patrick and Thais. So let's get into that.
I'm so thrilled because I love John so much. I'm like in love with him. I've been waiting to break out the accent again, so I'm ready.
Okay, good. This is hot on the fact that the friend was going in on John, your fave, saying that he's a malinfluence on Patrick. And then John, who we know to not speak a lick of Portuguese.
Not a lick, but he knows this phrase.
From the depths of his soul, shouts out to this woman that she is a slut, which I was like, did you just learn that at Google Translate? Did Patrick, was he like, how did you fucking know how to say that? But he launched
it was wild.
Table.
It was wild.
He throws that drink, honey, like Angela would, just like quick on the draw.
Have you guys ever thrown a drink on someone or had one thrown on you?
Never.
No, me either. I
Yeah.
think like I need to put it on my bucket list or something.
No,
I know it.
I don't imagine that it is a fun situation to be had. I think that
Well-
I would fight somebody if that happened.
Well, let me tell you
What
something.
if you
John's
threw it?
had many a drinks thrown on him.
Oh yeah,
I could
he
just
showered
tell.
all day long.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
been
yeah.
in a lot of showers that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to, he needs it because that's how he bathes.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I think that he was not right to say it. He wasn't right to say it, but I understand why he said it. And I
Yeah.
understand why she did the thing on him. And I understand why she left and didn't want to come back. So it was just all a sequence of events that made the most sense to me out of most sequence of events that happens in this show. Now why he came fast and loose out the gate, because that's what he knew to say, and he wanted to defend himself because she came in hot. And it's like, that is such first season stuff. Like there's been a whole baby born.
There's been a whole Thais has learned perfect English.
Yeah.
Like it's been a whole thing.
This is not the same. This is if unfortunately, I'm sorry, Boo, you did not get your opportunity to come after John from season 1 antics.
Yeah.
But we're past that. So now the audience is not with you because they're like, where do you they're married. Okay,
John went from drinking a beer and cooking a steak at 10 a.m. to America's Sweetheart.
Yeah.
That's where he is now.
That's where he is now. And so it just felt like
well, yeah, Natalia doesn't know about River.
No, he doesn't know about River
and his relationship with River.
The wrench. River, you want a wrench?
Yeah.
He's magical. I love him so much. I love him. Love him. Love him. I actually was messaging with him on Instagram because during the Single Life when he was on, he was staying at his brother's house and he had a replica of the Titanic behind him. And I needed to know was this your Titanic? Because I'm obsessed with the Titanic. So we were texting back and forth, and he said it was not his Titanic, it was his brother's. And then he told me that he was going to be on the season and to watch him. So I'm hoping to get maybe a little interview with him.
Ooh,
I think he'll give it to you. I think he's,
you.
He's on that Instagram. Yeah, honey. He got mad at us in a reel that for saying something his own brother said to him. And then he told me to put a top on because I was in my sports bra. So
wow.
I know. Wow. And then
did he call you what? In Portuguese?
I know. In English. No. Pretty much, but it's like he works only as a secondary character, like every time
he can't carry his own show.
At all. I mean, I'll be honest. I was so happy. I already said this before on the podcast, but I was so excited for him in the Single Life because I was like, oh, great. But he actually wasn't single in the Single Life at all. And he was just kind of like dating someone who looks like she's on opiates the entire time. And now like with the woman with the woman with the child, and the child that I hope to God is okay. And it wasn't fun or funny at all, and wasn't able to like show off him being charming. I thought he was weird and boring in it. And I didn't enjoy him being on Single Life. Again, he wasn't single. It made no sense to me. It was like Ed and Liz. I'm like, you guys aren't 90 Day Fiancé. I don't understand. He's not single.
I hate Ed and Liz. I hate them.
Liz is American. So I don't even understand why this was a chosen situation or what a shitty storyline ever across the world.
I like John. Here's the thing with John. Like, I know he's problematic, and I grew up around 100,000 men just like him. But I think, there was a lot of childhood trauma, and I think him and his brother are really tight. And I think at the core, like, he's just one of those bros that, like, he has your back. If if he likes you, he really likes you. And I just think he just parties a little too much, and he's a little like he just enjoys the spotlight a little bit. But I don't think there's like a bad bone in his body. Like, I think he's a good dude. I just think he can be a little problematic. He's got a little impulse control problem.
He's rough around the edges. That's like he's textbook rough around the edges.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at him, but we've also had another little Instagram thing too, and he's on that Instagram, honey. He's looking through the things, and yes, he is. He's
and one
very
of the
aware.
things that drove me crazy when he was on Single Life is when he and Megan were in there in the moment. Her head was enormous, like it was twice the size of his, and I it was like just fucking with my mind because I'm like, is this a weird camera angle? I didn't know what was happening, but she seems like a normal looking person. I don't know why they were just presenting so oddly together and it looked almost like it was AI generated. Like he was in a different location and she was in, you know what I mean? Because the camera was like closer on her, but further on him. It was weird.
Wait a minute. Her name is, we call her Texas Amy. What's her real name?
Megan.
Okay. Because for the longest time, I'm like, who the fuck is Megan? Who is Megan? You mean Amy?
Megan. Megan.
Hey.
Megan and
Okay,
Riva.
great. Riva.
Thais, I want to hear what Thais thinks of her. Thais now yelling at John is like, look, this is why I don't want you to be here. Look, problem. Which
I can't take you anywhere.
I loved it. Look, problem is absolutely.
Yeah. She also says to Patrick, when Patrick's like, well, she kind of started it. She's like, you think this is okay? And Patrick's like,
Right.
She's like,
Patrick kind of has his back though a little bit.
yeah, he needs to.
And I was like, okay, all right.
He needs to.
He does, he does. Then they have like in a confessional them talking about it, and then John is burps and he's like, well, maybe I went a little too far,
Yeah.
Doesn't he say something like something about blowing your house down? Like he makes a Three Little Pigs reference.
Yeah. You can't come crying wolf.
You can't come knocking on, something like that. You can't come knock on my door and then not expect the wolf to
get mad when the big bad wolf blows your house down. Yeah, you're just like, oh my, with throwing the word slut in a different language, and that you like spent 5 minutes trying to like feverishly memorize before this dinner. I mean, like
John is absolutely the kind of guy I would have tried to save desperately in my 20s. Like would try to save him, fix him. He's absolutely the kind of person.
Listen, you have the worst.
Taste. Look, I am so
bring your
grateful.
husband in. Are you married right now? Like, it's worth, bring him in here.
I'm so grateful that my husband has saved me from all of my bad decisions. Like he literally is a blockade around me.
Bless him.
Yeah, because you're
doing the Lord's work,
long and strong. Okay, so just wherever it is, you need to burn it and never bring it out to the light of day.
I agree 100%, not denying.
What an angel man you married. I can't. Robert Durst and fucking John. Robert Durst makes John look like, George Clooney. I have to tell you, Okay, so basically that's it. We'll see what this is all leading up towards them having the baby, Elise's birthday, and we'll see what happens there. Yeah. That's kind of like what's happening. Okay, so we're gonna go on to Rob and Sophie, which is also
Rob and Sophie,
basically unwatchable, but here we are.
I think the most healthiest thing you can do right now, and I said, you have any opinions about? Yeah, I think
health and decisions.
Yeah. The healthiest thing you could do right now, because you're both, on the brink. You don't know anything about no word about heal. You don't know anything about heal. You don't know about anything anagram of the word. You don't know it at all.
We're on episode, what did you say, 13?
15.
This goes until September. Happily Ever After is going to go into September, and there's going to be 5 tell-alls. Your faces right now. Oh my God. I need to take a picture.
What are you? What?
I have that on very good authority. Yes.
Okay,
that is like 2 months too long. And
wait a minute. Let me do the math. Okay, so we are currently in the third week of June. So that's
we're just starting the season. We just started the season then. What you're saying. July, August.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 11 more episodes.
That makes sense because when you think
about
it goes
to 23 usually.
Yeah, like Toe is 28, 26 last season was of Toe. So like, yeah, it's going. 5 tell-alls. 5 tell-alls. Whew, let that sink in.
Well, okay, so I think we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to bring them together and like make it so that we don't we can't do that. We can't do it.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do it. But they're gonna like bring back Claire to talk about all this that happened when she gets like, because they haven't filmed the tell-alls yet, and she's obviously already been arrested.
Yes,
you said bring back Claire. I heard big back Claire, and I was like, that's not normally what you would say. So it's really interesting that
big back Claire. Bring back Claire.
Okay, great.
Okay, so let's talk about them. So, yes.
No, what she don't want to. Let's just wait until another 3 weeks
you
to bring it all together because we can't do it every week. I think at this point we need
granola bars. We have to okay. Basically, I mean, what were they? Oh, the green ones. They're like they're
Did she
those
eat
green
a whole
crunchy ones.
box of them?
Yeah,
She
she was
just
very
kept
hungry.
eating them. She just kept eating them
She
throughout the
was
day. And the
stoned out of
truth
her
is,
mind.
Throughout the day. Okay. And she was stoned.
that
Okay.
is like,
All right.
listen,
Okay.
as somebody who used to get in trouble for eating certain types of food because certain types of food was for the adults' lunch, I understand where Rob is coming from. But I think at that point, what he needed to do is just get a Costco membership and buy a big ass thing
Buy
of it,
more
because
than
she
all of us.
wasn't going to stop. And what his problem is that he was probably raised to penny pinch, and as an adult, because he never actually had any success, he couldn't afford not to penny pinch. Like me, I don't, because of my childhood. Because of my childhood being like, you can't, if my mom bought anything, she needed it to last 7 days or she was mad.
Right.
If she bought anything, even though she had 3 kids. And so like I mean, the chances of that something like that lasting that long is crazy, but there was no Costco's that I'm aware of when I was little. So so she would like be mad if she bought apple juice and it was like, if she bought it on a Sunday and it was gone by Friday, she'd be mad about that.
Because she needed it to last until Sunday.
Yeah, she needed it to last. It's not as though she would go and buy more on Sunday. She wouldn't, but she just felt like for us to be like individuals who understood the value of $1 and whatever, she needed to last a long time. So as an adult, me and my brother, we don't stop ourselves. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting, because that goes one of 2 ways, right?
Yeah.
So
we don't. If we like something, we buy 2 of it automatically. No, even though it's just us eating it. I have bulk of everything I love in this house. It's just me, but I can't because I don't want to. I just am like fighting against the ghosts of the past, of kitchen past that are telling me you need to spread this out because whatever. I'm like, no, I'm a grown ass person. I got my own money. I'm gonna eat as much of these churro bites from Costco as I want to.
It's just so fascinating to me. Like in my work, in my previous role, when I used to write in the mental health field, like I interviewed this financial therapist, and he was always talking about like mental wealth and how we never talk in this country about how much our parents or their financial habits shape how we see the world. And I'm like, we're seeing this with Rob live playing out on this show.
Yes, toilet paper. No, sir. I'm sorry. I do feel bad for his upbringing, because the fact is that he can't even stop himself from this person he loves. At least I would be able to. I still do it for myself, so I would never do it to anybody else. Right. But like, I could never be with somebody who was counting things like that and talking about it, and I would be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Your trauma has like hasn't healed itself, and so
you haven't done the work. Yeah,
you haven't done the work. I can't be with you at this moment, because me, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna eat 5 of it and I'm gonna do what I want." Because I have more money,
and then I'm gonna wipe my ass with 17 squares of toilet paper.
Do you know how much I use? I don't flush tampons. TMI. I don't. So you know how much I'm wrapping that shit?
Yep.
Oh, I go through toilet paper like there's 5 people living here. Don't give a shit.
I hated the toilet paper conversation so much, because also she has a face full of makeup every goddamn day. You know, she's not having like those specialty Q-tips around his house that like can get in there for the eye makeup remover. So she's using all of the toilet paper for like makeup as use as well. Yeah. Claire in this conversation tries to be as balanced as she can, and really for some reason thinks that she can like talk Rob into thinking that she is even keeled in this, that she is this wise one that like, just so you know, Rob, I don't hate you and I don't want her to break or push you, you know, like, and he's like yeah. What are you talking about? Yes, you do. It's very obvious.
By the way, I had nothing to do with this decision. Right. Yeah. Right.
Now, Rob, just so you know, she's going to take some time to go away and really be able to think about the pros and cons. And in the silence is where you get the answers or whatever. I don't know what kind of accent I'm doing for her. It's all over the place. I'm so sorry. I can't do it. But I will say that like in the silence is when you get the answers. When she says that, I mean, if I was Rob, I'd be like, are you going to fucking look me in the face right now? Really? You know,
I know.
In the silence is where you get the answer.
And this is what Sophie has dealt with her entire childhood.
Yeah. I mean, Claire is, come on, like this, the audacity to say that. And then, right away. By the way, I had nothing to do with that decision. Sure. Right is what he says. And then, see, because she should be able to get able to eat when she's hungry. And she says that it's because he says, look, one thing you don't understand and what you haven't thought about is my position in this. One thing about Sophie is that she's gotten whatever she wanted handed to her on a silver fucking plate. And she's like, no, because she was here with you and she was starving at us in her money. And you got mad at her because if she ate too many granola bars, which I was like, again, is it Barbells? Is it Nature's Harvest? Is it RX? Like what bars were it?
Were it?
Nature's Harvest. Yeah. It was Nature's Harvest.
Were Nature's Harvest.
The really crunchy ones that come two in a pack.
Terrible.
I think they were Barbells.
Oh.
I think he got them on sale at Trader Joe's.
When she was eating them, did we see her eating them? Because I don't remember that.
Never.
Okay, because I mean, then you could tell if it's crunchy and she has shit all over her shirt, or if it's soft.
Nature's Harvest.
Yeah. I like what she's wearing though. You like this like 2-piece? It's like LA Dodgers blue on top, and then like a matching blue set on the bottom. Anyway,
yeah,
I thought she was representing the town she no longer lives in.
Yeah, she's cute, and he both resents her and is attracted to that she grew up rich, so that she has money.
It feeds some part of him that he's with a rich girl, that she would choose him, and that she represents the lifestyle that he's always wanted. It's like he gets to be with the rich girl before he's rich, and then she teaches him how to manifest the lifestyle for him because she knows it so intrinsically in her bones.
It's just also such an interesting place where men like Rob, who want the girls who look a certain way but don't understand that looking that certain way on a budget or on a dime is not feasible.
Yeah,
right.
It's just so interesting to me that he's like, I like the way that you do this, I like the way that you do that, but I don't love the price tag that comes along with it. And it's just really awkward to me that is what he wants and he can't afford it.
Yeah.
Has she gotten any more extra like fillers since she's been in LA or been in America? Like it's only because like who's paid for that? I wonder. Filler is so fucking expensive. Botox is so expensive.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know about it. It's not
there
yet.
I do.
Not there yet.
You think his forehead is just not moving for any other reason by the sense that I've injected Botox in it? Hundreds of dollars to not have this fucking forehead move.
You can't use it with insurance because it's cosmetic.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No.
So everybody who gets
Chris, no, we don't want you to age. No, let's pay for the state because we know how bad it'd be for your mental health, Chris, if you had like forehead lines. Or Chris, we know that you fancy yourself an actress sometimes. We don't want insurance. So sorry, I'll stop making fun of you. Does not pay for it.
That is crazy.
But that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty smooth. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I just got it $600. Okay, so I know.
Well, how many snacks can you buy for that?
I know. I'm like, Costco.
That's a lot of granola bars.
$100 at Costco would go such a long way. What else I was thinking of doing is getting the piece that you just put here overnight, because I notice when I'm driving in the car, I don't know what it is, but I always have just a little bit of a little scowl. And sometimes I'm like, why am I scowling?
Yes.
And I try to relax myself.
Are you wearing sunglasses?
No, when I see
That's
it,
why.
I'm not wearing some. Okay, but then I also have my moonroof open, and so I closed my moonroof because I was like, no more scowling, and then I'm like looking up, and I'm like, I'm not even feeling it. I'm just like, but now it's not there, so I'm like, maybe I should.
Yeah, sometimes you're scowling because your eyes are straining from like trying to like see through over brightness. Sunglasses are a low key secret for not having wrinkles.
Yeah, I wasn't wearing my.
I wear sunglasses constantly, even if it's cloudy. Constantly. I really do.
I want to get the thing that you put over your forehead at night and then you peel it off in the day. Have you seen people putting it over their mouth?
I've seen the one for the chest.
Oh.
Yeah, because I am a side sleeper, so my boobs go like that and I go on the side. And so they have this like breastplate so you don't like get your like chest lines, but I mean
the line?
Yeah.
The Angela line?
I wish I knew all about this 10 years ago.
The Angela lines.
All of these
wild.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this Rob and Sophie thing is just basically whatever. So she's upset. Okay, there's granola bars. Things happen. That's dumb. She's like, "Why are you still fucking talking about these granola bars?" And he's still talking about it. And then Wah says that her makeup is the wrong undertone. You want to talk about that?
It's the wrong undertone. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's too yellow.
It's too yellow.
She's not the yellow.
Yeah, she's not. And I'm just like, girl, you don't need bronzer to to warm you up, you need an actual different undertone. You're not aware, just because you're that light skin doesn't mean that you need to wear something with that yellow undertone. It's like she needs a neutral or something. I'm not sure, but right. it washes her out and it makes it so that she looks crazy. She looks like a ghost, especially with that blonde hair. She looks crazy. So yeah, I was just like really good. And it's like the line of demarcation is here too. I was like, well, is it 98? Like, I don't understand. Are you like, to me, that line of demarcation is like what happened when the cool girls who wore makeup, who had their like CoverGirl press powders that they got from Walgreens or CVS, would just come in with that. I'm like, take it down your neck. You know, it's a different time now. I shouldn't see a line of demarcation on your face right now.
I think I've understood about 2 minutes of the last 10 minutes. Because I know nothing about makeup or Botox. I don't even wear makeup anymore. And if I do, it is a nice, like, CoverGirl, quick eyeshadow.
Oh, that's did I just make fun of you, low-key? Do you use the little brush inside of the CoverGirl? Like
probably,
yeah.
Amy. I just don't know how to girl. I don't know how to girl.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's the first step. If somebody asks you if you use the brush inside of the package, you say no.
Okay.
And you go, no.
What do you supposed to put it on with? A secondary brush that you buy?
Elf.
Okay.
A better one. An actual
eyes, lips, and face.
I have to do like makeup 101. Like I have to start from scratch because I know nothing about it.
Concealer. That's the first thing anyone needs to learn is concealer.
I wash my face with Dove soap every day and that's it.
Okay, first 0.5 thing you need to know.
No. Moisturizer.
0.5.
I do use a moisturizer. I do.
Okay.
I do. Yes.
0.5.
And a good one.
Get a cream. Get a moisture. Get a cream. Wash. Don't use that Dove anymore. Dove is a lie. It's not for the face. They make it seem like it's for the face in the commercials. I'll tell you the cheap one.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So then, Sophie is trying to, not Sophie, the other one. Claire is trying to pull Sophie away, and she's like, "All right, I'm leaving now." And Rob is like, "Okay." And she's like, "Do you have anything to say to me?" And he's like, "No." Bye. I miss you. I love you. And she's like, "Okay." It's like, I'm like, what is she trying to do? She's like, you need to sit down and think about how you're behaving. And every single time you behave in a way that I don't like, I'm going to leave and go to Kay's. So I'm not going to sit here and talk with you about it because I don't have it in me. I don't have the energy. I just need you to fall in line. Okay.
Right.
Look, I could either be like this doll with you, the happy side, or I turned around and it's upset, and I can be with this doll with you, the one that's upset. It's in your hands.
She's always so mad at him. He does this thing that's actually kind of like ridiculous, which is that she makes a big huff that she's going to leave. It's very obvious that she wants him to be on bended knee, being groveling, being like, "You are so beautiful. I love you so much. He's
never going to do it.
You're everything, and I'll change." Now, what he keeps doing is while she's threatening to leave, he's like, "I'll tell you what you should do." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you see me fucking leaving?" The question is not what I should be doing. The question is what you should be doing for me to not leave, which is like the same thing as when he was like, "Here's the things. I made a list of things that you should change."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's the same thing, right? Where he's like, "I'll tell you what you need to reflect on. Can you be with me without being pissed off all the time?" It's like, I cannot fucking have this conversation. Mom, he's telling me what I have to reflect on. But I'll tell you what you have to. Yeah, go ahead.
She sounds so cute, even when she's angry.
She does.
She's always like this delicate little like. It's cute. I could watch it all day.
Rope.
She's
demure.
She definitely wants him to kind of step up, and he is like, "It's not just me, it's you too." But here's his issue. He says she's not going to go away and think, and that's what he's upset about. Because it's like, well, she needs to stew in the silence and like think. And he's like, "You're probably not even going to go over there and think. She's going to go over there and just forget about me for 2 days. And then at the end, she's going to be like, what should I do? I'll go home and see Rope." She's not going to think about it.
So much like internalized just rage towards her. It's so weird. Like he never says anything nice about her.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. It's just very strange. It's almost like he wanted this picture perfect rich girl to just tear down constantly. Like it's so weird.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, you don't even seem like you like her, let alone are in love with her.
I think that he's just not scared to totally be vulnerable, especially when he feels like he's been done wrong. Like he just needs massive amount of therapy.
He absolutely does. And I do think he could be a good guy. Like I think it's in there. He just needs a lot of work.
He needs a lot of work and new friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that one friend, Torre, honey. I mean, you know, but also she needs new friends too, and she needs a new mom. Okay, so I mean, they all need new things and new lovers. Here we are. So, okay, let's get to our final and best kupal, which also is like the reason why we watch the show, because this is the fun thing, which is Emily and Kobe, or Mr. Kobe, as the wedding announcer is like, Mr. Kobe. We have finally gotten to the day of days, which is Emily and Kobe are going to have their Cameroon wedding. It starts with Emily getting hair and makeup done. And her hair is piled up on her head. You know, Emily has all that fucking hair.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
she has amazing hair. I have 6
yes.
wisps of hair, if that. She has amazing, like 3 or 4 pounds of hair up there.
Absolutely. Great hair. She they do her hair, they do her makeup, she gets dressed, she looks beautiful. The mother comes in, they mention the ex-girlfriend, they mention the friends, we don't know what's really going to happen there. Her hair is heavy, and it does look heavy, you know. She does complain about it a little bit, but she never complains too much. She knows how important today is. Really, her and her dad are you know, pretty awesome, even though horribly white during this whole situation. Kobe's getting ready with his father, they're speaking French. You know, his dad is just so thankful that Kobe is there, and also says like beautiful things, that like he recognizes how people respect his son and how in the community and how much that means to him, which I thought was so like beautiful and lovely.
Really beautiful. Yep.
Yeah. And then honey, they like briefly talk about Valerie, but whatever, God bless. And then Emily is greeted by all of Kobe's sisters who's come and are just giving all the woos. Honey, just come to the door, knock, knock, and it's woo! You know, it's like, Emily doesn't speak a lick of French. She's like, yep, woo! And then she comes out and it's like, woohoo! Woo! Woo! You're just like, okay. But they're dancing. It's awfully cute. We get over a little bit of what's going to happen, which is it's nothing like a wedding we know. And the only thing that is somewhat like normal, I'm sorry, American weddings, not normal, American weddings, is that Kobe's going to go in first, and then she's going to go in last, which is how we also are familiar with shit. But we get to the venue. Kobe first walks in, and it looks like it's a cow's tail, but it looks like 5 cows' tails. It looks like, I mean, because as we were talking about, like, you know, with someone who also has thin hair, like, as opposed to Emily, it looked like 10 Emily heads, you know, of hair, you know, just like so much straight hair on a stick.
Yep.
It was kind of like, it was, you know, did you see like Doja Cat's performance from Coachella, that hair outfit she wore? It was a moment in Zeitgeist history about like a month ago. Anyway, it's kind of like that. But he's going around. What do you guys think of the
I feel like the cowtail is something that I always see in like certain cultures from the motherland. And it's just, I was expecting him to like be using it to swat flies. Like I always thought of it like a thing that you did to like remove the bugs from you, like sort of like a cow, or not a cow, but a horse's tail. So it was funny that it was cow when I was like, why not horse? I feel like, I mean, I don't want it to be a horse, but like, I feel like the horse's tail is just much more conducive to what you were doing. You're right. It was like 10 cow's tails, but he's so excited and happy about it. But I also thought it was funny because producers, whatever their questions were to him, like I felt like it was like, well, Kobe, why do you have that? He's like, well, you know, it started off as the chief, then it's this, and now just people do it. And they said something to him that made him laugh in the confessional, like that. I was like, what was the question? What was the question?
He is so charming.
Yes,
he has such a great laugh.
Yes,
he's got such a good smile. I love their relationship. I think she's great. How often is the story of the badly behaving American, right, going somewhere and acting like an idiot? But she has been wonderful. Her family's been wonderful. It's like been really nice to watch. I know we all like mess, but it's nice to have this to balance that.
Because she was the villain her first season, just bothering the shit out of him.
Because she was like, Kobe!
You know, just bothering the shit out of him and not letting him live his life and get to know his son and all that stuff. But now you can tell she's like, my husband's so hot and we're gonna fuck like a lot.
We're gonna
Like,
fuck
Doesn't matter,
hard.
every
She goes,
episode.
we're gonna fuck
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, she's just like into him, and I love that for them. I love that for them 100%. So the girls like walk in and they're like dancing as they come into. He's there. He's so excited. And let me tell you, little Scarlett is gonna find her daddy. Okay. No matter who's around, what's happening.
Yeah.
And that Coben, he was trailing around them, crying the whole time. And Emily was so good at ignoring him. She's like, yeah, okay, we're getting married. Great. Yeah, it's just like really cute to see the kids interacting and like trying to figure out what's going on and where their place is. But I love Scarlett like going up to her dad, demanding to be carried as he's like coming in with the cow style. I loved it.
My dad.
I'm normally like anti-kid at a wedding, but I guess it's your own kid. You have to bring them.
They
so
have
what
to
are you
come.
gonna do?
Yeah, they have to come.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do like this MC who's really hyping everyone up. Like with Kobe, he's like a man who grew up in Africa, who understands his culture. You know, like it was just such like a honey, he is, and he's back. And then when Emily walks in, he was like a beautiful, sweet lady. And we were
from
like,
America.
Yeah, white lady from America. But yeah, she's dressed. Oh yeah, and he's like, and dressed in traditional regalia, you know, which that was part was exciting. Then they get to this thing where she comes in, and then Kobe's dad or someone I think passes her what looks like a conch shell, but it's or a unicorn's husk made into a glass, but it's with the palm oil, the palm wine, which we all want. And then she also has to go and find her Kobe. And that's, you know, everyone's able to have to try to find him and then give him the palm wine on bended knee. And then he drinks it.
Yeah.
It was cute.
And
then the father blessing. Now, this made me think the father started his blessing with Heavenly Father, which is such a Mormon thing to do. Like outside of like Black folks and the preacher, like people rarely ever say Heavenly Father. And so, except for the Mormons. And so I was like, oh, he grew up Mormon? Are they Mormon? Like all of a sudden was like, I need to know more. But yeah, he's like Heavenly Father, and he does the blessing, and he loved it. He loved it. And then Valerie comes, and so then everyone's like dun dun dun. But we know nothing happened. I feel like we're trying to be sharp at that moment, but it didn't happen for us. And then we found out something very important: that his first name is not Valerie. No, his first name is something else. I don't know. It's probably French, and then like a little of Cameroonian native, and then Valerie. Yeah, it's his last name. So that was interesting. And then Valerie's speech. We don't know what he's going to say, but we don't know where it's going to go. He begins it very African, where he's like, "Hello." I was dying the whole time. I rewinded it, and he was like, "Hello," like, you know, like very Uncle African, and it was fun.
And it kind of had the vibe of like, so Kobe brings home this white chick, and you're like, oh my god, where's this going? How does he feel about it? But then he's like, we love her, and we're all like, okay, all right,
okay,
it's fine. Okay. All right.
She came to the club.
Where it was going to go there. We didn't know where it was going to go.
She came to the club. She brought her Louis Vuitton never full bag. I was also questioning that choice, but it turns out she's a very nice girl who
she refused to make us dinner, would not make us dinner.
Yeah.
But I heard her Eru is actually quite good, you know, the talk of the village. And then, you know, Emily's dad is like, listen, all in all, it was a great cultural experience, you know, which is like,
you're so sweet.
No, you guys,
cultural experience.
It was like he wasn't there. It was, or they put it on for him as a visiting white. But they were just like,
he was in a museum.
Okay, he's just like this little naive little guy. Like, oh, that was nice. Whatever.
He went. It's like going to, you know, how you go to Hawaii on Fridays? They have the luau. It's like Chris. That.
Yeah. It was. I was like, oh no, sir, this is real. Like this is just as valid as your culture, because you have a culture too, and your cultural experience would be just in a barnyard with like lights and then rustic and like whatever.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, so why did you other this?
Kind of always, he's one of these guys that kind of just always seems confused, but like in a cute way, like just kind of like, oh, what's going on?
And he's the best though. Like he's the best and he's still bad. You know?
Yeah.
It's just
Did he watch YouTube videos about Cameroonian dad speeches or just wedding speeches by dads?
I just don't know.
When he said he watched YouTube, I was just like,
on
just
how to do
give
a prayer.
speech?
Yeah, how to do a prayer.
How to do a prayer?
Yeah.
I just
what did he Google? What did he Google to get there?
Maybe he
You're right.
Googled
Heavenly
a Mormon.
Father. I don't. Catholics don't say Heavenly Father. I think we use like.
Yes, they do. Yes, we do. I grew up Catholic. I'm not anymore.
We say
I'm
Heavenly
atheist,
Father?
but oh yes, Heavenly Father, we are gathered here today. Absolutely.
Well,
yeah, that's.
But I'm talking about a person.
Oh, do the parishioners?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Because
I feel like that's a very common phrase, having
Dear
grown up
Father.
Catholic.
You know what's
Father,
interesting?
our Father.
I don't
Dear God.
know that a Catholic
Dear Father
priest person has ever been overtly religious towards me to know, right? Like Pentecostals,
and
that's
Catholics keep it to themselves. We don't pray
Catholics
to
keep
people.
it to themselves, yeah. And so for me, I don't know what a Catholic person would do. Whereas, like, I know because of the copious amounts of like Mormon and LDS and like just all the things that I have watched in my life that they
we've
often
studied.
do. That the priesthood holder, meaning the man in the house, the priesthood holder will start out all
and you're under the umbrella of protection.
Yep, with Heavenly Father, and they refer to God as Heavenly Father. They don't say God usually. They say our Heavenly Father is up there trying to give us a universe and bless us with plenty of other wives. So like we got to get this thing going down here.
And we're just down here putting the Holy Spirit in their brains, according
so
to
we can get that to that celestial kingdom.
Yes. Yes.
Honey, get there and quick. Yeah, I mean, God bless. That was a great wedding to watch, and
it was.
We did not get his girlfriend, which I don't. I had to think that the producers thought they were going to get her and tried to get her, and for some reason it didn't quite happen, because that's the only reason why I'm assuming they would have added this storyline that has no resolution.
Right.
And we have 11 more weeks. So what's the next chapter in their lives?
Yeah, they're right. They're married. So they're going to stay in Cameroon and come back.
Well, is she going to, maybe they'll show the pregnancy with the other kid.
Oh,
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. It'll be a whole taking something that looks like a COVID test, but it's an ovulation test. And then you think you're pregnant. I don't know, whatever.
Maybe the child was conceived in Cameroon, which would be cute.
Maybe.
Cameroon conceived. And then that's where we came to the end of this episode, which is wildly interesting, because probably one of our longer episodes, but it's so lovely to have you on, Amy, and be able to hear your opinions on all these people. And
thank you. And we had a little Jinx talk in there.
And the Jinx talk. You dropped the bomb in real time that we're not nearly done with this season, and how much more we have to buckle in. We didn't know that, honey. We did not know. Our brains melted, but here we are, still standing. But also, you're enjoying Lip as well. I know we're just you're enjoying Lip right now too. Isn't that fun to watch? And UK,
yeah, we like it.
Do you like UK?
Yeah, I love UK. I love Sprite for president. That's what I'm saying. Sprite's amazing. Sprite and John are giving me life. Yes.
Amy, are you on TikTok? Are you an avid TikToker? Have you heard of Aunt Mary? Okay, maybe you're not.
I'm not an avid TikToker. It takes me 75 years to make one, but I'm on it. I'm on it.
I'm just gonna say I like it, which is a person on TikTok. She's so cute. Her name is Aunt Mary, and she's got Down syndrome, but her niece runs the channel, and she says, "I like it," and that's what
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like Sprite.
I like him. Yeah. He's great. I really do think that the docu-series portion of the way the show is supposed to be, it's like in the US, it's a reality show, but in UK, it's a docu-series, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. I love it. This is my first year watching it. I've never watched UK, and it's great. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's so different and so refreshing, and I really like it. It's good.
Yeah, I agree. Will you go ahead and go over your socials and tell people where they can follow you and hear you all the time and be as obsessed with you as we are? God bless.
So we are on Little Miss Recap, and we go by that on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere else. Our Facebook group is called Backdoor Friends. And
Great.
we cover a lot of sister wives, seeking sister wives, stuff like that. We do a lot of docs, and we're doing MILF Manor, which that's 14 episodes, and we were really surprised by that because the first season was like 6, and then somebody got arrested.
Yeah,
and
it's
now
just like
it's 14.
What happened to the just like pure like a 10-week season? You know what I mean? From front to big end.
That's what we've been trying to like. We only do the 90-day, like the spin-offs, because we like the short. So like we did Last Resort, we did The Single Life, we do UK, just the shorter things. But I'm on I'm loving UK, and I'm loving MILF Manor, and I'm just on this kind of, the trashier it is, the better kind of run right now. Oh, and we're gonna do House of the Dragon.
Oh, yeah, honey. Taking you said trash, and then you went right to like highbrow.
Taking a different turn there. Yes.
Yeah. Honey, the spectrum covered. The spectrum covered.
Yes, 100%. Yep.
I actually haven't watched it yet. I know it's premiered, but all right, okay. Well, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Fun.
And we want to have you guys over soon, so you'll come over.
Yes,
and we'll do something. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
We will come over. We'll bring a gift, maybe like a bottle of wine.
Absolutely. Bring some makeup. Show us how to use it, because Amanda's going to need the lesson too, I feel like. So
easily, honey. We'll paint faces.
All right, you guys. So if you want to see the visuals of what you're listening to, please join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. You get exclusive content like a live every first Monday of the month, plus other goodies. So if you're at all interested in that, please join us at patreon.com/DocuSweeties. But if you can't do that, you can support us in that way. Chris will tell you the free ways that you can support us. Chris?
Oh yeah, go ahead and type in at DocuSweeties wherever you follow people on social medias, because we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on X, DocuSweeties1. We couldn't get the original one. It's annoying for us. We also have a Facebook group, the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. We're also on YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed there. And if you haven't given us a 5-star review and just like really like going in on how much you love us, consider it, because you know what? It's free for you to do, but also great for us. And what a win-win. So thank you so much.
Win.
Thank you. Don't forget to check out Amy with Little Miss Recap, wherever you can listen to podcasts. She is a riot. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.